Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Marie here from Just Live Your Thoughts. I hope everyone is doing good. Guys, this video is actually long overdue. I wanted to do this video when I hit my 1-year mark here in Italy, which would have been 6 months ago. So this is actually 6 months overdue. Now guys, as you can see on my thumbnail and also the title of my video, this is about, of course, the experiences and adjustments that I needed to do when I moved here to Italy. Since I've already hit my 1 year and 6 months, I can say that I have already adjusted to a lot of things which I am wanting to share with you guys, because there are still a lot of Filipinas, co-Filipinas who are reaching out to me on Facebook and also Instagram, who are asking about the process because they're also married to an Italian or have an Italian boyfriend. This video is actually for you guys just so that you know what will happen or what are the things that you badly need to adjust to once you're here in Italy. Now guys, I don't want this video to come out like I am a racist, because this has nothing to do with Italians. It's nothing bad about Italians, nothing bad about Italy, nothing bad about the Filipinos. It's just really facts, because I've been here for 1 year and 6 months and I have needed, of course, to adjust to a lot of things here, and likewise I am sure that there are a lot of foreigners who need to adjust to a lot of things as well when they move to the Philippines. But before moving to Italy, guys, I joined this Facebook group and they showed me the process on how to get here to Italy. But I guess no one really mentioned what are the things that I needed to adjust to once I'm here. So guys, if you are a co-Filipina of mine who is married or have an Italian boyfriend, this video is for you and I hope you like it. So without further ado, let's get started. I'm gonna start off with the most basic thing that I needed to adjust to, and it's pretty obvious, which is food. So food definitely is different from the Philippines. So Italy is mostly known for pizza, pasta, carbs, gelato, and all the good things. And I must say that Italy has perfect food. Like, their food is just so simple. If you guys have been watching my food vlogs, their food is just so delicious that, you know, you just tend to eat more and more. And I must admit that when me and Marco were actually living with my in-laws, I really got fatter because of how good, you know, my mom-in-law cooks. So their food is really good. But what is the bad side about the food? I guess it's not really bad, but of course it's still something that I needed to adjust to, especially coming from a country where we are used to using a lot of spices or condiments like soy sauce, vinegar, chili powder, rosemary, and all the other things. So like I said, guys, Italian food is great, but I believe that my stomach still belongs to Philippine food. There were days, especially the first, I guess, 4 months when I moved to Italy, where I really craved for Filipino food, especially adobo, nilaga, tuyo, galunggong, tilapia, mga ginataang isda, and all the other Filipino food. There, of course, were days that I really did crave for it, especially my first 4 months. So here in Italy, guys, it's mostly pasta and pizza. Then in the Philippines, you have like adobo, and then you have like nilaga, but you always have rice. So rice is, of course, they cook rice here. You guys have seen in my cooking vlog, but it's just that they don't really have rice just like plain rice. They have rice like risotto. So when there were days that I really craved for Filipino food, there were days that I would actually cook adobo. But the adobo is the only thing that I cooked here, or actually with my in-laws, because living with my in-laws, it wasn't, you know, I didn't feel like comfortable, like it was my own space, like it was in my own kitchen where I can just go cook whatever I want. I mean, can you imagine cooking tuyo in their kitchen? I mean, they would have probably just kicked me out the first day. But if you'll be living with your husband and you'll be living in a separate house than your in-laws, then I'm pretty sure that you can cook Filipino food. But I think that Italians are quite, I guess, sensitive when it comes to the smell of things. Like, I don't know if they like the smell of tuyo. There are some Filipinas who are married to Italian who actually cooks tuyo in their house. I don't know. I've never really tried cooking tuyo here in Italy. I know that Marco wouldn't like it. So how long was it that I needed to adjust to when it comes to food? Now, I'm pretty lucky, I guess, because my stomach and my taste bud really adjusted to the food here in Italy. I would say about after 4 months, I didn't really crave for the Filipino food anymore. Now, there are actually Filipinas who I know adjusted to the food after 2 years, 3 years. So it really depends, I guess, on your taste bud and your body and your stomach. But I am thankful that I was able to adjust to it easily. Another thing, guys, if you crave for Filipino food, the good thing is that there are Asian stores here in the big cities, but of course they are a little more expensive. So what do you do when you are craving? Go to the Asian store, cook your own Filipino food. Don't be shy, because of course it's part of the process of adjusting to things. It's part of the process of moving to a different country. And of course your in-laws and your husband need to understand that. Okay guys, I hope you guys can still see me because it's kind of getting dark outside. Now, that was just the food and I've said already so much. I don't know how long this video will be. Now let's move on to the second main obvious thing that I needed to adjust to, which would be, I guess, the weather. So when Marco and I arrived here in Italy, since we are from, or he is from the south, we arrived in June, and I am really thankful that the weather here in the city where he comes from is actually same as the weather in the Philippines, or like how the summer is in the Philippines. So June, sometime when we came here, it was actually summertime, so I didn't badly need to adjust to the weather when we arrived. So whatever was the temperature in the Philippines was the same that when I got here, so it wasn't such a big adjustment for me. Now, to be honest guys, I've never actually been really sick because of like a cold or a fever or something like that because of weather change, which is a good thing. I was so excited about winter. I was, of course. I mean, I've never experienced winter in my entire life. I've never seen snow, and I've never experienced the real cold. The only time I experienced it was when I walked into the mall or the department store or when I went to Baguio, and that's it. So that was the only cold place I've actually ever been to. I was so excited about winter that when winter came, I regretted it. Winter is just depressing. I feel that there is something about winter that makes the whole situation so depressing that, I don't know, it's just depressing. Like the sun sets, like the sun is setting right now and it's only not even 5 p.m. So I say that it's depressing because I guess, I don't know, it's just depressing. I don't know how to explain it. You guys will you guys figure it out when you're here and let me know if you will also be depressed during winter. When I experienced winter, it was cold. I had to wear like 3 layers and then the jacket. So of course you'll have to go winter shopping with your husband. You know, I was excited about wearing boots for the first time because I mean, can you even wear boots in the Philippines? That was kind of exciting until I felt the real cold. So here in the south, like the real cold happens probably around January, February, and we hit like 0 degrees. So when we hit 0 degrees, guys, it actually started snowing, and I uploaded, I believe, a video on Instagram where I was jumping up and down because of the snow, because it was the first time I actually saw snow. Just a drizzle of snow, because it doesn't really snow here in the south, which is unfortunate because I actually do want to see snow. If you live up north, I know that it's harder for people to adjust to the weather because the weather is just ridiculously cold up north. So I'm pretty lucky when it comes to the weather here. Right now it's December and you know it's not super cold outside. Now, how did I adjust to the weather? I don't know how I adjusted to it. I wore a jacket. They actually have heaters at their house here, so you don't have to worry about that. I mean, Italians know how to warm up, so you don't need to worry about that. Now, the only time that I actually got sick was when we came back from the Philippines just this year. So Philippines that time was like incredibly humid. And then when we came here, it was just start of winter. So you guys can imagine how cold that was. Guys, the weather here is good. Yeah. In the south, it's good. It's just, I hope that if you are going up north and you live up north, I hope you guys will be able to adjust to the weather quickly because it's not easy as well. Okay guys, so next up on our list is transportation. So why transportation? Because if there was one thing that I could bring from the Philippines to Italy, it would be tricycle and jeepney. Because we live in a suburb or like a little town where when you want to do grocery, you would have to walk or either drive there. So I can't live without Marco because he has to drive me somewhere to actually buy something. Though I can walk if I need to buy fruits or vegetables, I can do that because, you know, they're just there. But if I want to go to the mall, I would need Marco to come with me. So that is the reason why we are always together. To be honest, guys, if you live in a town like ours, you really badly badly need a car. You can't get anywhere. Though there are trains, so the main mode of transportation here in Italy would be trains. I don't like the trains here in this town because they just look a little bit dodgy. Like, we rode one time on this train when we were going to Naples, and there was a drunk guy. So that was kind of just dodgy. I just don't like the feeling that someone is gonna stab me on my back anytime soon. But if you live in a big city, like people who live in big cities are pretty lucky because you guys have the train, you have buses, and you have metros as well. So if you live in a city, you are in luck because you have all these things. Now, I'm pretty sure that there are also buses here. That's it. If you live in a town like ours, there are trains. Other than that, you have your own car, or you can ride the bus if you live in a big city, or the metro. So guys, let's move on to one of the most obvious, which is the language. So before coming to Italy, guys, Marco already gave me a heads up that no one really speaks in English in his town. Now, when I came here, I had that in my mind because Marco told me about it, but I just didn't expect that 99% of the people here don't actually speak in English. Even at the airport, like I went to, where were we going? I think we were going to London that time, and the immigration spoke to me in Italian. And knowing that it is actually an international airport, I would expect for you to speak to me in English. If you come here to Italy, not a lot of people speak in English, and it's really, it's just really, really hard, of course, if you want to go somewhere by yourself. Now, one of the things that I use is a translator. Usually when I talk to my mom-in-law, I use a translator, but it's just a hassle because like when you try and talk and then you have to talk to the phone, you kind of lose the sense of what you want to say. Like, what if you want to tell a joke? Like, you have to talk to the phone first and then pass it to them, and then the joke is kind of gone. I would suggest for you guys, if you are not yet here in Italy, and it's something that I wish I could have done, if there was something that I wish I could have done back then, it would have been learn the language. So if you guys are still in the Philippines and waiting for, to be married, or you are waiting for your visa or something like that, I would highly suggest for you to learn the language, learn Italian, because even just the basics. Me, I didn't know anything. Like, I didn't expect that a huge percent of Italians don't speak the language. That's why I didn't actually, force myself to learn the language before moving to Italy. So I guess that is a tip number one for you guys: learn the language before coming here. Sorry guys, I keep moving because I'm trying to run after the light. So now I'm here in this position. I'm gonna find myself outside in a moment. But let's move on, guys. So that is the language. There's one thing that I also wanted to add in regards to the language. So how is my Italian right now after a year? Not really good. And of course, that would be my fault and also Marco's fault because, it's both our fault because we don't actually speak to each other in Italian. There are Filipinas that I know whose husband doesn't really speak in English, so they're kind of forced to speak in Italian, but they learn. Now, since Marco only speaks English to me, I'm learning slowly. So it's not as fast as I wish it was. Maybe I'm going to, or maybe I need to, of course, focus more into learning the language so that I can speak in Italian to his family, to his friends. Hopefully. I mean, Italian is not an easy language, guys, to learn. It's not like ABC. But there are words that, if you come to Italy, there are actually words that are somewhat the same in Tagalog or Filipino, which is good. So sometimes when they speak in Italian, I kind of get what they're saying. The thing is, guys, it's easy to understand what they're saying, but it's hard when you talk. I find it really hard to answer because I know the verb, it's just that I don't know how to say it correctly. Another thing is, it's not only Italian, each province has their own dialect. So for example, in Batangas, where I come from, their dialect is Batangueño. In Cebu, Cebuana, or Visaya, I don't even know, sorry guys. But yeah, you know what I mean by dialect. So that is the language. So at the very start, it was really, really hard for me because of course, you're kind of, especially when you're at a family gathering, everyone is talking and you're just kind of so you'll feel out of place. I think anybody would feel out of place. But I guess that's how you learn, because once you start listening to people, you will catch what they're saying. When you're at a dinner table or when you're at a family gathering, just try to listen to what they're saying, pick it up, and just learn as you go, because that is the only way. Like I said, my tip for you guys would be to learn the language if you aren't here yet. Okay guys, so we're down to health. So if there's one really good thing about living here that I really like, it would be about how health conscious Italians are. If you start feeling sick, like in your stomach, like there's this sharp pain, or you have like something in your foot or your face or something, they will go to the doctor immediately. It's definitely a problem with us Filipinos, because what we do, we have to admit, is that we tend to wait for the pain to go away, or we wait for the day that we are actually bedridden and we can't even stand up. That's the only time we go to the hospital, and that is the only time we have ourselves checked. Now, I know this might be TMI or too much information, but when I went to the doctor to have my pap smear, I went to my OB-GYN, however you guys want to call it, and they were actually surprised that I've never had a pap smear. In the Philippines, usually you have a pap smear when you're around 35 or over, because that's, for us, that's, you know, the right time you have it, because you're not supposed to have it when you're young. So that's our thinking in the Philippines. So the doctors are actually really good here in Italy. So I would suggest, if you are a Filipina, co-Filipina, before coming here, guys, have your pap smear done, because like me, I was kind of embarrassed, like when they found out that I've never done pap smear. They're like, why, you've never done pap smear? For me, it was like, parang ang dumi-dumi mo, parang ganon. Like for me, it was like they were saying that I was like someone dirty or something like that, because I've never done a pap smear. Because to them, it's such a big thing. Like you're supposed to have pap smear every year. Like my mom-in-law, she has like mammogram. Yeah, she has mammogram done like every year, I believe, just to see if she has like, you know, any lumps. Now in the Philippines, like, we wouldn't even check that. We would only like check it once something hurts. So she would check it each year, not, you know, even if it wasn't hurting. That's something that we really need to pick up, and I really like that about here in Italy. It's that, you know, they're really health conscious. So our next up, guys, would be the people. So this is something that I didn't want to get emotional about. This is one of the things I didn't want to get emotional about. There's really a big difference when it comes to Filipinos and Italians. And this is where I don't want to be sounding racist, because there is a big difference, guys. You know, let's admit it. Italians are they're hardworking people. I can see that they're hardworking. But that's it. That's the problem, because they're so hardworking that they just focus on their work, and it makes them grumpy. I feel that they are not happy with what they do. Like, for example, if you walk to the mall, you don't see the sales lady or salesman smiling at you. You don't feel the welcomeness that you should. You should feel, you know, that you're being helped. But I've never felt that. Every time like we walked into the mall and we needed help, like you just don't feel it. Not like in the Philippines, and I don't want to sound like it's a comparison, but when you walk to the mall, like everyone is on you. I know it's an uncomfortable feeling, because you don't want people to see, you know, just leave me be, like kind of like that feeling. But I would rather have people on you and actually make you feel that you are being looked after, or that, you know, they care about what you are wanting, and they care about, you know, what you are thinking of getting. In the Philippines, people smile more, and that is definitely something that I miss in the Philippines, is that there are so many people who smile, that, you know, people, poor people, anyone, kids, tricycle drivers, jeepney drivers, they smile at everything and everyone. Like, even if they are struggling, even if they, you know, have little money, they can still put a smile on their face. And here it's just so different with how they look at life. I think they're more focused on the negative. I guess that's it. It's hard to be with people like that, because, you know, positive attracts positive. And if you are happy, if you smile at someone, wouldn't you smile back? So I wish there were just more people who would smile more here. If you walk into the office here, like they're not happy about what they're doing. And I wish they would smile more. Now, it may be different up north. I'm not sure. And I don't want to generalize Italy, because I know that not, you know, not all of Italians are like this. If you are from the South, please smile more. That's all we need. Because Philippines is known to be one of the happiest place on earth besides Disney World. You guys, a lot of foreigners move to the Philippines because people are super friendly there and people smile a lot and life is just simple there. We are also hardworking, but even if we go through a lot of things, we have the time to smile and forget about our problems, because smiling is just contagious. That's it. Smiling is just contagious, and I wish people would just smile more here. And now we're down to our last topic, guys, which is family oriented. So if there was one thing that I really liked, especially down here in the south of Italy, would be how family oriented people are here. So there's kind of a bad thing that I just mentioned a while ago, but there's also, of course, a good thing. Family oriented. So if you are, if you are married to an Italian, if you have an Italian boyfriend, I'm pretty sure that your husband or your boyfriend is family oriented. So that is one thing that I really like about them, is that they're really open with each other. They are, they know that they have each other's back. They know that they can talk to each other about anything. I can see with Marco's family that they're really open. I would say that Marco is a mama's boy, and all three of them, because there are three of them, they're all mama's boy. At first, okay, you will be shocked that it's kind of like a turn off, like a mama's boy. But then when you see it, when you see it with your own eyes, you kind of think this guy has respect for you because he respects his mom. Because if your husband doesn't respect his mom, that's the way that he is going to treat you. That's why Marco treats me very well, because he treats his mom very well. So don't be shocked when they are too close, when they are, I'm not saying all over each other. So don't be surprised, guys, if you see them hugging each other. Don't be jealous. At the very start, I was jealous. There was this jealousy inside of me, really? But you kind of have to brighten or widen your mind. If you are weak, you're not gonna last here. Or you could be weak, but definitely this place will make you stronger. So if there are days that you feel alone and you miss the Philippines, or you will be missing the Philippines, don't think that you are alone in this, because there are a lot of us, a lot of Filipinas who go through this. I didn't even know I was going through culture shock until I actually searched about culture shock. Culture shock is when you think every negative thing about the country, when you do a comparison about your country versus the country that you live in, when you don't want to see anyone, when you don't want to talk to anyone in this place, that is culture shock. So I definitely went through that. Adjusting here in Italy wasn't easy for me at the very start. So once you come here to Italy, I would suggest lawakan nyo talaga yung pag-iisip nyo, because it's not easy. It's really not easy, definitely when everything is just so different from the Philippines. Another thing is Christmas is coming. That's another different thing that I should have raised to you guys. So Christmas here is spent with the family, of course. But if there was an occasion that I would rather have in the Philippines, it would definitely be Christmas, because Christmas is just different in the Philippines. Don't think that you are alone in this, like I said, because you aren't. There are a lot of us who go through this every day. Me, I've been here for a year and 6 months and I'm still going through it. And we just need to be strong. Filipinos are known for that, to be strong people. Just think that God doesn't really give us a situation that we cannot handle. There are days that I really cried to myself at night. There are days that I cried to myself in the bathroom. There are days that I cried to Marco about things. There are days that I just cried because I was feeling so homesick. So it's not easy, especially being a girl, that we are so emotional. But know that you are not alone in this. You don't have to, take this all by yourself. I am here. I can listen to you. I may not help you physically because we may be on the other side of Italy, but you can always message me through my Facebook page or my Instagram, and I am more than happy to listen. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope this video isn't so long, but I hope as well that it has helped many of you, or it will help many of you who are planning to move here. I hope I haven't hurt anyone in any way, and if I did, I am sorry. That is it. That is the end of this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you've come this far, if you guys like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you want to keep up with my upcoming vlogs and videos, go ahead and click on that subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching as always. I will see you guys on the next video. Ciao!